I'm excited for our next conversation because our next guest is a woman that turns her lived experiences as a Latina, as a bilingual speaker, as a woman in comedy into very purposeful comedy. So please help me welcome Aida Rodriguez. Aida. Welcome, Aida.
Thank you.
How are you?
I woke up this morning. That's where my bar is. I'm just here.
That's good. So I think most of us know you first and foremost for your stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
But I know you wear many other hats. You're also an actor, a producer, a writer, a podcaster.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything else?
I'm a director.
Okay.
And most importantly, I'm I don't know if it's activist. I'm an actionist. It's not about words, but
Nice.
yeah.
So for how long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
Wow. What inspired you? I mean, I just imagine that being a stand-up comedian every night, going in front of strangers and trying to make them laugh must be pretty intimidating.
You just talked me out of it.
No, I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
What am I doing? I grew up with funny women. There's this misnomer in comedy that women are not funny. And every single one of our grandmothers is probably the most hilarious person that we've ever encountered. I wanted to tell my story, and I always felt that comedy was a good way to deliver messaging that you can't do sometimes straight on. Sometimes through laughter, you penetrate things that you can't do with regular. And comedy's been very effective for me to get some messages out there.
And you also have a podcast. It's called Say What You Mean. Mm-hmm. And you and your guests discuss moments when people wish they had spoken up, correct? How did you come up with that concept?
You know what's funny is that as a Latina growing up, listening throughout the people in my life saying, yo no tengo pelo en la lengua,
Yeah.
We've all heard, yes you do. Yes you do. We're always talking about how we just say it like it is. We don't. All of us have moments in our lives where we wish we would have said something and we didn't. And I just like to offer people that freedom, because those moments for me have been, I've had these fights in my head of like, I wish I would have said this and I wish I would have said that. And I know everybody has that feeling.
We've all been there. But
yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but can you think of a moment where you wish you would have spoken up?
Sure. I mean, it's ongoing. Now that we've started doing the show, the floodgates are open. Yes. And so, even moments, I remember for a magazine, they were doing a story on me, and the woman who was working at the company was a white woman. And I say this because it's important, it's context. She sent me an email and she goes, Aida, I know you're Puerto Rican. I hope you don't get offended by this question, but have you ever been to jail? And I was like, I am offended by this question. I said, no, I've never been to jail. And I was like, have you? You the white lady. I was like, it was just so weird. But I didn't, that was all in my head. I didn't say anything. I just said no. And I wish I would have responded and spoken up, because I think it's important for us to do that.
I feel like truth-telling is very important throughout your whole comedy.
Yeah.
Why is it so important for you to just bring the truth to light?
Okay, so now I'm going to lose more jobs. It took The View 20 years to put a Latina on that show. 20, right?
Yeah.
Every time you see conversations about politics and social issues, you seldom see Latinas. Ana Navarro has powered her way into that scene and said, no, sir. So when you see comedy, when it comes to us, they like us to be payasos. They like for us to perform things that make them feel comfortable about how they feel about us. And my hero in comedy is George Carlin. And so I was like, I want to be able to do that. I want to speak up. I want to speak out. I want to tell jokes that land, and I want to be a mirror to community and society, and so.
Now, is it what you've expected? Because you've said that it is hard these times to make people laugh collectively.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think that the greatest threat to what's happening in our country and to our people is that it's a lack of education. FDR said the greatest threat to democracy was a lack of education. I'm paraphrasing, but it's a quote that resonates with me. We are having these culture wars. People are not being informed. You are an actual journalist. You are out there battling with people that have followers, giving people misinformation. Mm-hmm. And I think in order to fight for our humanity as Latinos, people that have, some people keep saying they want us to leave, but if we left, America would crumble. It couldn't survive without us.
Totally.
We will gladly go back home. Have you ever seen Mexico or Puerto Rico? It's beautiful. We're not here by choice. But if we leave, you got to leave too. You got to leave Mexico. You got to leave Cabo. You got to leave San Juan. And let us go back to our paradise, because we come from paradise. The only reason we're here is because our families had to do what they had to do. So I think that, yeah, it's important now more than ever. I look for solidarity with our people, because I think that a lot of people are always trying to find division with us. But we are so powerful, and they know that if we do find solidarity, that is over.
Yes. So recently, comedians have been making headlines.
Of course.
And you've spoken a lot about how comedy is important especially in these times.
Yeah.
But what do you think is the role of a comedian in a free society?
Back in the day, comedians were the healers, right? They were the people that use comedy to heal, because comedy is a tool for healing. We are supposed to be using our freedom of speech to speak truth to power. There's a spectrum of comedy. There are some people who want to make jokes about hamburgers, and then there are some people who want to make jokes about politics, and there's room for us all. Humor is different for everybody. Some people like slapstick humor, and some people like their humor with politics and social, tones. And I think it's important that we have all of it, because as they attack our freedom of speech, if you look throughout history, a lot of the people who were standing on the front lines were actual comedians.
Yeah. So you also talk a lot about Latinidad in your comedy.
Sí.
If you had to explain what being a Latino is today in the United States, how would you describe it?
You know what? The most interesting and beautiful and yet difficult part about Latinidad is that Latinos are the only group that contain every racial group that exists. And I don't think people understand that about us, right? There's white, black, Asian, mulatto, all the words. We got all the words in all the countries. Indigeno, sí. I have the eyelash right here. I'm very familiar with my indigenous roots. My grandfather was Arawak. I think that people don't understand that those things are weaponized against us. And we are dealing in real time with hundreds of years of oppression, misinformation, and it takes time to be able to find the unity that we're looking for. And it starts with a reckoning. It starts with saying we do struggle with anti-blackness. We do struggle with anti-indigenous sentiment. We do say inappropriate things, and we need to learn how to educate our people and our families. So I think that understanding that about us is the beginning of us actually being able to find our heaven, because we keep ignoring that, and I think that's what makes us magic, but we have to understand it.
Totally. We're running out of time, but I have to ask you this. It's a kind of a news of the day kind of question.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on all the outrage that Bad Bunny's upcoming performance?
You have 4 months. You know what? I think that's a very interesting that Bad Bunny, who is American.
Yes,
American.
by the way.
Puerto Rico is the last colony. That there is an outrage because there is an active push against us. And the active push against us is not just in music, it is in science, it is in entertainment, it is in law, and it is because people are afraid of us. And they know that when Bad Bunny hits that field for the Super Bowl halftime show, he's gonna unite us the way he's been uniting us, the way he spoke out against ICE, the way he was informing people about where ICE was. I think that the outrage is the anti-Latino sentiment, but I just keep warning people, keep messing around with us and you're gonna get exactly what you're looking for, because if we all say nos vamos, se acabó.
Nos vamos.
Se
Thank you
acabó.
very much, Aida
Thank you,
Rodriguez.
this is great. Thank you
Have
all.
such a nice time.
Thank you.